You might think all nuts are healthy. But what if I told you that eating the wrong kind, especially as a senior, could increase your risk of heart disease by up to 48%? That's not just a random number. It comes from years of research, published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Here's where it gets alarming. Some of the most common nuts found in kitchen cabinets, yes, the ones many of us snack on daily, can quietly raise blood pressure, trigger inflammation, block arteries, and even speed up cognitive decline. And yet, these are the very same nuts people eat, thinking they're healthy. There's one specific nut in particular. We'll reveal which one later in this video. That contains a toxic compound. When eaten regularly, it can damage your liver, your kidneys, and even your brain. What's worse? You probably already have it in your snack jar. It's often praised by low-carb dieters. But for seniors, it might be doing real harm. But don't panic. In this video, we've got a complete guide to smart nut consumption. The safest choices, the most heart-healthy options, the best for your brain. And of course, the ones you should absolutely avoid. And be sure to watch until the very end. Because we'll uncover the dark truth about the #1 most dangerous nut out there. A truth that very few people are talking about. But that could be quietly harming your health. So go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel. So without further ado, here are the 4 types of nuts that seniors should be consuming. Almonds. 4th recommended nut. 4th, we have almonds, the bone-strengthening powerhouse. Thanks to their calcium and vitamin E, almonds are one of the best foods for an aging body. These nutrients help keep bones strong, which is crucial since bones become brittle with age. Just 1/4 cup daily offers around 97 milligrams of calcium, helping slow natural bone loss after 65. Almonds also contain magnesium, a mineral many older adults lack. Magnesium acts as a calcium transporter, guiding it to your bones instead of your arteries. Their monounsaturated fats also help lower bad LDL cholesterol, supporting heart health. I recommend 15 to 20 almonds per day, ideally raw or dry roasted without salt. They're also high in fiber, about 3.5 grams per serving, making them a great aid for constipation, which affects 40% of seniors. Studies from Tufts University show almonds can protect brain cells from oxidative damage. Choose almonds with their skins on. Their flavonoids, combined with vitamin E, double the antioxidant power. Caution: almonds can be a choking hazard. Chew thoroughly or opt for almond butter if needed. Walnuts. 3rd recommended nut. 3rd place goes to walnuts, the nut that supports brain health. Their brain-like shape mirrors their function. They're the best source of ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that supports neurotransmission and cell membrane integrity. In a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, seniors who ate 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks improved in processing speed and mental flexibility. Walnuts also contain polyphenols that cross the blood-brain barrier, fighting inflammation that leads to dementia and Alzheimer's. They're also one of the few nuts containing melatonin, which helps combat age-related sleep problems. A handful before bed may improve sleep quality. With arginine and powerful antioxidants, walnuts also promote heart health and can support blood pressure control. Store in the fridge to protect their oils and aim for 7 to 9 walnut halves per day. Cracking them can help maintain fine motor skills. That slight bitterness? It's a sign of antioxidant strength. Pistachios, 2nd recommended nut. 2nd on our list is pistachios. Excellent for blood pressure control. With low sodium and high potassium, around 285 milligrams per serving, They support kidney function and can lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, similar to some medications, but without side effects. They're also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that protect against macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss over 60. The green and purple hues of pistachios reflect their antioxidant strength, and shelling them promotes mindful eating, slowing down intake, and reducing the chance of overeating. Studies show that the pile of empty shells helps people track how much they've eaten. Even those with arthritis can enjoy half-opened pistachios. Aim for about 49 pistachios daily, roughly 1 ounce. With 3 grams of fiber, they're also great for blood sugar control in seniors with diabetes or prediabetes. Brazil nuts. First recommended nut, first place, goes to Brazil nuts, a natural support for thyroid health. Just 1 nut contains 96 micrograms of selenium, 137% of your daily need, making them the richest source of this essential mineral. Selenium activates thyroid hormone, which supports energy, metabolism, and mood. Up to 20% of seniors suffer from thyroid disorders, often undiagnosed. Brazil nuts also help maintain the myelin sheath that protects nerve cells, aiding reflexes and cognition. What sets them apart is that their selenium is organic, making it more absorbable than synthetic supplements. Plus, their rich, creamy texture makes even 1 or 2 satisfying. I recommend no more than 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day due to their potency. Buy them in shell and store them in the fridge to prevent spoilage. They also support digestion with fiber and natural oils. Most exciting of all, new research suggests Brazil nuts may slow telomere shortening, which affects cellular aging. For seniors over 65, these nuts truly stand out. Introduction to nuts to avoid. In this new section, we will discuss nuts which some seniors may wish to avoid or eat with caution. Fourth on our list of nuts to avoid is the peanut, a common snack with uncommon risks, especially for seniors. First, peanuts aren't technically nuts. They're legumes, which makes them especially prone to mold contamination. This can lead to aflatoxins, toxic compounds linked to liver damage, and even cancer. As the body's detox systems weaken with age, seniors become more vulnerable to these toxins. Even without a peanut allergy, many elderly experience low-grade inflammatory responses from the proteins in peanuts, worsening joint pain, cardiovascular stress, and cognitive decline. Peanuts are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are inflammatory in excess, something most Americans already consume too much of. Add in the vitamin K, which may interfere with blood thinners like warfarin, and it becomes a bigger concern doctors often overlook. Commercial peanut butters make matters worse. They often contain added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and salt, all harmful for aging hearts. Even natural peanut butter can raise blood pressure and go rancid if improperly stored, releasing harmful free radicals. Dry roasting creates acrylamide, a chemical that may damage cognitive function, especially troubling for those already concerned about memory loss. Even if you've eaten peanuts without symptoms, consider switching to safer alternatives like almonds or walnuts a few days a week for better health. Cashews. Third nut to avoid, limit cashews. Often praised but problematic for aging bodies. With high carbohydrate content, about 9 grams per ounce, and a high glycemic impact, cashews can spike blood sugar, making them risky for the 73% of seniors with diabetes or prediabetes. They also contain fewer protective compounds and more oxalates, which block calcium absorption, a serious issue for bone health. Cashews may increase the risk of kidney stones, especially in those over 60. Cashews undergo intense processing to remove urushiol, a toxin related to poison ivy. This depletes their nutrients. Store-bought versions are often oil-roasted and salted, adding harmful fats and excess sodium. They also contain enzyme inhibitors that hinder protein digestion, a concern for seniors already struggling with nutrient absorption. Their smooth, creamy texture makes them easy to overeat, and also poses a choking risk, especially for those with swallowing difficulties. If you're snacking on cashews regularly, try walnuts or almonds instead for fewer risks and better nutrition. Macadamia nuts. Second nut to avoid, limit. In second place for nuts to limit, macadamias. Yes, they're delicious, but they pack a punch at 200 calories per ounce and a whopping 22 grams of fat. With slower metabolism and reduced gallbladder function, seniors may struggle to process that fat, risking gallbladder attacks, especially if they have silent gallstones. They also contain about 3 grams of saturated fat, which can raise LDL cholesterol, a major heart health concern in aging populations. Their hardness is another issue. Biting into macadamias with weak enamel or dental work can damage teeth. Despite their cost, store-bought macadamias are often poorly stored or rancid, and many are roasted in oils and salt, compounding their impact on blood pressure and heart health. Their buttery flavor makes them easy to overeat, especially for seniors with less sensitive taste buds. Though some assume macadamias are heart-healthy, most studies on nut benefits exclude high-fat varieties like these. Instead, reach for pistachios, which offer better support for aging bodies. Pine nuts. First nut to avoid, cha-chew limit. Finally, the top nut to avoid, pine nuts. These small seeds carry big risks, especially for seniors. They're known to interfere with many medications, including statins, antidepressants, and blood pressure drugs. Yet most patients are never warned. Worse, pine nuts can cause pine mouth, a bitter metallic taste that lasts weeks. This can reduce appetite in seniors, leading to weight loss and malnutrition. In fact, studies show up to 42% of affected seniors experience significant weight changes. Pine nuts also oxidize quickly, producing inflammatory compounds. Their size and slick texture increase aspiration risk, particularly for those with dry mouth or swallowing issues, which affect over 70% of seniors. Enzyme inhibitors further reduce protein absorption, and their high fat content makes them calorie-dense, complicating weight control. Alarming new studies suggest compounds in certain pine nut species may even worsen age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of senior vision loss. Even if you enjoy them in pesto, it's best to cut pine nuts from your diet after 65. Choosing safer alternatives can protect your health, vision, and vitality. Last but not least, keep in mind that continuous application of minor adjustments produces enormous outcomes in the long run. It is time for you to speak up. Is there any evidence that dietary changes, such as the addition or removal of particular nuts, have an effect on your health? Tell me which nut had the most impact on your life. Post your thoughts and stories. In the comments section, we value your input.